Helen, hello. Just wanted to do this short video presentation just to showcase a few of the things that I think that you could be working on when it comes to your LinkedIn and your Facebook fan page, and how video might be able to help you reach and engage a new audience in 2020. I'll see you on the other side. Hello there, Helen. I've made this personalized video for you on the assumption that, one, you understand the power of social media. That if you post content, that you get new conversations or engagement from that content, and then potentially you get new conversations and new prospects and leads on the back of those conversations. So you know that social media largely does work. I've also made the assumption that you want to grow your business. The third assumption is I've assumed that you probably don't have time to post content regularly on those social media channels. And the fourth one is that you want to get to your business goals faster than the traditional client acquisition methods. If those assumptions are correct, then this video is for you. So what I'm going to share with you, Helen, is what I think is missing from your LinkedIn and Facebook business profiles so they are optimized for growth in 2020. I'm going to show you 4 people who have optimized profiles, and I'm going to share with you the 4 different types of content that you should be showcasing for your business on those channels. I just hope that you find this valuable and that you can apply it to your online world. So let's jump in, shall we, to your LinkedIn page. Now, we're not connected, but it all shows up, which is good. Good to see that even though you're not connected, you've made those privacy settings to view for everybody regardless, which is brilliant. Most people don't do that. Good to see you've got a nice little cover image at the top of your LinkedIn profile. Yippee! What I'd like to see, though, is a little call to action in the top right-hand corner where the coffee mug is here that largely says how they can get in touch with you. Like, get the latest products, get the catalog now, call me, something like that. I'm going to show you some other profiles later on. What else we got in here? You have no about section, which is, you've got such a rich, colourful history. You've got to tell that story. I'll show you some stories in the about section where you can optimize your profile. And in terms of your activity, let's jump into some of the posts you've been making. Oh, look, some of the people that I know. Some activity which is good, and you've been getting some engagement. And, oh, that was a bit of a jump. Was that 2 years? 2 years to a couple of months ago. Yeah, okay. So, maybe you're just starting to see the value of LinkedIn, and here's Mr. Murray Phillips popping up. In terms of Murray's, I might have been giving him some advice around doing some Kudos, which we're going to talk about in this video. And then if we jump into your Facebook fan page, again, I can see this is probably where you have been focusing your attention. You've got an average number of followers that can easily be upped by running a small digital campaign. You'll talk to any of the guys at BNI help you do that, or even Casey could show you how to do that. But yeah, in terms of your posts, a little bit of engagement, but really I don't feel as though there's any strategy behind what you're posting and why you're posting it. It's almost like it's that beautiful Irish humor that you're posting. A little bit around products, but no rhyme and reasons around, why, or what are we focusing on. What products are we focusing on at a particular time for a particular target market? So, and in terms of your website, the only thing that I felt was missing from your website was perhaps something about you, or it's, products, blog, content reviews. There's no about section. Where's the piece about Helen Northey where she can do a little video to camera and saying, hi, welcome to Prestige Products. I'm Helen. Just like you stand up at BNI and you're so engaging, why can't you do that on a video on your website? Because Prestige Products at the moment is you. You could have a talking product, but really people buy you and then they buy into how you can help them in all of these prestige products. So let's look at some of the optimized profiles that I said I'd share with you, and some of these people you're going to know. Let's start with Lara McCormack, shall we? As you can see in the top right-hand corner, she has a little bit of a this is kind of what I do and how I can help. She does a very good job in terms of her headline. Most people on LinkedIn just view it as like an online CV, so they just kind of have, Lara McCormack, email marketer, or what did you have? I can't remember. Helen Northey, Prestige Products. It's like, what's the outcome? What do people get? So Lara really should go the one step further and say, I help business owners reconnect with their online tribes or reconnect with their customers through email marketing campaigns. Another person we should look at, when we look at Ash Palmer. Again, nice big headline, doesn't really have a call to action. He probably doesn't need to because he's such a prolific poster on LinkedIn. But again, nice headline, a little bit different. And lastly, we're going to show you Glenn Marvin. So, as you know, Glenn from BNI, let's look at his story, right? His about section. Now, I want you to read the first couple of sentences. Just to take a moment to read that. So what that does is he connects through a story. And yes, it leads to what he does, but it describes his why. Why do we do what we do? And the person that we are and how we can really help people. And that's where you need to have an about section where it talks about your personal story, where you can be vulnerable, you can be yourself, you can tell your stories about growing up in Dublin and moving to New Zealand, and tell us that story because people want to know that story. It makes it relevant to the person. Lastly, we're going to go a little bit further afield to America. I always like to showcase this gal, Shay Rowbottom, and she's got like 160,000 followers on LinkedIn. She's pretty much maxed out, 162,000 followers. The maximum number of connections are out is 30,000, so she's doing pretty well. And she uses emojis in the story, but it's when you get into the content that what she's creating is she's obviously using video to educate and to inform, but the piece that not a lot of people do on LinkedIn or on Facebook, any social media channel, is entertain. And she entertains. And that's where she gets lots of connection. Certainly helps that she's blonde and a nice, lovely smile and all the rest of it, but she knows her stuff and she's very, very good at putting out content that people want to see. So, I said I'd promise you the 4 different types of content that you could create on your social media channels. So the first one is, well, why don't we stay with Shay Rowbottom? The first one is education. And what she largely does is she educates people around how to use video or to engage people on LinkedIn. And I mean, just look at some of these posts.
Today we continue the series where I answer your LinkedIn questions, and today's question is this. I've been curious about the algorithms and the timing of posts and comments. Is there a prime window in which to respond to comments, a window in which it's best to have...
There's one. Play another one.
The first thing she did is she put me on an elimination diet. So no corn, gluten, soy, dairy, sugar, or eggs for like 100 days.
Now notice that the first one was an education post and the second one was something to do with dieting. So I guess what we're seeing from here is it's not just about the business that we're in. It's about the interests and the other experiences that we have in life that we should be posting on both LinkedIn and Facebook. Don't think about LinkedIn and Facebook as purely business. It's personal and it's about community, and you'll see that from some of the other people that I've got that will showcase as well. But education, you know, there's all these products you've got. How can you educate people around why they need them? How can you educate people on what they're, what they can be used for? All these products can be, you know, targeted for particular people. Talk to those people about those particular products and showcase them in your videos. Educational content is the first one. The next one, we already mentioned it before, where Murray talked about Kudos. Kudos is another one, and Lara is very good at that. Lara is very good at Kudos posts. In fact, why don't we look at Murray as well? Murray, where is he? Murray Phillips at the top. There he is. We have been doing a bit of work with Murray, and he's been trucking along, which is good. You know, he's only about 3 weeks in, but part of my strategy with Murray is to do Kudos posts, and we've done our personal interview, which is coming up next. So here's an example of a Kudos post.
Hi, it's Murray from Insight CA. I'm here with Gene from Super Tire Guys. So Gene, tell us about your business.
Hey guys. Yeah, so my business is a couple of doors down from here, Super Tire Guys.
So in these Kudos posts, it's not about Murray. It's taking a little bit to get to that point. It's not about Murray and what he does. It's about showcasing other people and the value that they bring online. It could be clients, mentors, staff, other B&I people. All of those people all want some time on social media and sing their praises. All you need to do is, like, you know, you're interviewing, I don't know, David Kay. Here's David Kay, and you know, I just wanted to do a shout out with you because he's bloody amazing and he's really good at, you know, fixing everyone's backs, and you should go and see David at the chiropractic Remuera and the Viaduct. That's a Kudos post. Why do we do them? Because as New Zealanders, we just love that humility. We love that people not giving, you know, it's a bit of that tall poppy syndrome. It's not about us. It's about other people and the value that they can provide our wider community. So what do we got? We've got education and Kudos. Both Murray and Lara are very good at Kudos posts. The next one is personal story. So we're going to look at this guy, Tim Webb. Tim Webb, there he is there. He's a bit of a prolific storyteller. And we talk about personal story. When people start working with me, is I start with an interview that is about 30, 40 minutes long. And largely, I just interview them about their backstory. Because, like, you know, when you go to B&I, you sit down with a dance with somebody, and they kind of say, well, tell us about Helen Northey. And you kind of, I was born in Dublin, blah, blah, right? That's how people connect. So we do that on video as well. And Tim was probably one of the easiest persons to interview because he was such a vivid storyteller. You know, he was emotive, he's vulnerable, he's not afraid to just tell that story and, you know, to use a few curse words, because he wants to connect with other real people, and you know, he's a really lovely storyteller. Yes, he sells real estate, but he's we didn't even talk about real estate. It's not about real estate. It's about the person, and that's where personal story comes in. The last piece that I want to talk to you is called commentary. Now, most people on LinkedIn, what they do is they see a link in a magazine or something, or a link online, and they go, "Oh, look, this is really interesting. I'm going to post this link to my community, and they'll think I'm really smart because I'm educating them on this really cool link." Don't do that. So Ashley Church has lots of followers, and he's a bit of a commentator, and he does that. He does a lot of this link stuff, but then he commentates on it. So look at the numbers here, right? All right, here's this thing on newssky.com, but rather than just post the link, he posts his perspective. Same with this one here. Winston Peters throws his support behind NZME. He doesn't just post that New Zealand Herald on LinkedIn. He gives his perspective. And sometimes you don't even need to have the link. All you're doing is giving your opinion on someone else's opinion. They could be right or wrong. But you're showcasing your knowledge and your ability to commentate on a particular thing or an opinion or what's happening in the world. Now, the last thing I want to show you is actually someone that you know quite well as well, and that is Mr. Marvin. And what I want to show you in terms of his activity on his profile, and I'm sure you've had a bit of a squiz already, is that if you look and see, it's not just about business. Sure, he runs Connector and digital marketing coaching, but you know, here he is about to leave Auckland to go to Rome. This is a Christmas party video. There is some things about his interests. Whiskey, what do you know? His having a bit of a go on TikTok. His involvement with our 12 days of a LinkedIn Christmas. There's information about travel. Oh, there's a bit of business. So as you can see, it's not just about business that we need to share on both LinkedIn and Facebook. It is all of ourselves, so people can connect with all of us. So it's about personal, it's about the communities we serve and love, things that we're passionate about, our values, and it's also about business. And hopefully, that's something that you can take on for 2020. If you'd like to have a conversation with me, you can click the button below this video, but look forward to catching up and having a yarn beer with you at some point in 2020. You have a cracking day. Thanks, Helen.